what you want, when you want it, where you want it. This is The Mesh.
We'll try not to like too much talk over each other, but again, we are girls and we are
agree to disagree.
Okay,
Moving on.
well, the makeup bottle. It's like a ripped out T-bird from Greece.
Yeah,
You know, she's got that black hair.
Hello, everybody. It is time for Chick Chat. It has been long enough, but we have very good reasons to explain why we have not been here. I have one quick announcement that we might want to jump into. Am I allowed to make the announcement on the air? It's Chick Chat.
Sure.
So this is just talking with your girlfriends.
it's not Facebook official, but yeah, it's cool.
I mean,
people know.
You know what? If people don't listen to Chick Chat to find out, then
They don't
that's their
deserve to
fault.
know.
That is their fault.
Right.
Jeanette, congratulations. You're pregnant.
I am.
Yay!
That's what I did over my summer vacation.
No. I don't need to know what you did. But
Yes,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Everyone out there, give her a little shout out on social media, up on our Chick Chat Facebook page, maybe. But Jeanette is pregnant, due in February.
Mm-hmm.
About to find out if you're having a boy or a girl.
I am. A couple weeks.
Oh, you have a daughter who's super excited, you said,
Yes.
right? Okay, well, that's good. And now Chick Chat will be anxiously awaiting to find
Chick
out
Chat
what your
baby.
It
The
is
first official Chick Chat baby.
You might just rank up there with like royal wedding status.
I think it might.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, people had been on Harry and Meghan baby watch. They didn't see me coming.
Nobody watched Jeanette and Tabell like that. I mean, I was waiting. I'm so glad. I'm very happy for you. And
you.
I'm glad you said you've been feeling okay.
I've been feeling great. Yeah. Knock
Good.
on wood.
Well, yeah. That is awesome. Wanted to give that quick announcement before we get started, but thank you again for listening, everyone. You're on themesh.tv. Hope you have subscribed and liked our post on iTunes or any other platform that you're listening to this podcast on. But I have one quick announcement first that is not really like a sponsorship, but I'm just kind of trying to help and spread a little love. So over on The Mesh, we do have another show that Jeanette, I know you're familiar with, but it's Foot Candle Films.
Yes.
They are a film review society that's located here in Hickory, North Carolina, where we are. And their offices are actually in our same offices, so we share the love here around the table. But they have their annual film festival coming up, and this thing's serious. Like, this film festival gets international films, directors, producers, and stuff flying in from out of
awesome.
the country and
It's a big
everything
deal.
to come see these. You know, I mean, it's on the circuit, if you will, the
Right.
circuit.
And these are movies that you will not see in your local movie theaters.
These are ones that are documentaries, there's narrative, there's feature films, there's all different kind, animated shorts, whatever kind that people have submitted, but they've already gone through one panel to be submitted. There's a whole bunch of films that get submitted, and then you have to be selected to be shown at the festival.
Oh, wow.
So it's a pretty cool process, and then the audience gets to vote after you see the film. And so you can come to one, all, any of them, whatever you want to do. But it's located here in Hickory. It's happening on September 28th through the 30th. It's a great weekend, full, jam-packed of films. I think there's like 37 movies showing over the weekend. Wow. And, you know, I mean, some of these will get buzz on Oscar wins and stuff, you know, maybe in some different categories that you're not used to paying attention to, which is kind of cool. But they always have discussion after each of the films, which I think is really neat.
Yeah.
They get a director up there who's come from wherever the movie was made, and I think that's just pretty cool. So
I love how Foot Candle has grown, because I was a member, or I went to a couple movies when I still lived in Hickory when they first started, and it's a big deal now.
It's
grown a lot.
It is awesome.
And they have some really good films, and I love the discussion afterwards, because
it's my best favorite part.
I always found myself going, "Oh, I didn't get that from the movie, but I can see that now." Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, I love it. So please go first of all and listen to their podcast over here called Foot Candle Films, but go check out their website, footcandlefilmfestival.com, and check out the schedule and get your tickets online. So hope that you can join us September 28th through the 30th. We'll be out there and enjoying the festival as well, but stop by and say hello. Moving on. Got a lot to talk about because it is the end of summer now. School has started back.
Yay!
I'm exhausted.
Yeah, it was...
I am exhausted. Summer was long and hot and full of camps.
Yes.
Which meant full of me picking up and taking and everywhere.
I felt like I was in the car a lot.
I mean, I was not only, I felt like kind of doing that already, but my husband started a new job. And it requires a lot more travel. And that meant a lot more of days where he's gone all week.
So quite a lot of mommy and time.
Yes. So we've been doing great. And so he actually was able to be home for the orientations. I had two different, this is the year that my kids are at different schools now. So we had to go to 2 different orientations. And so he was here for that. He did have to miss the first day of school and this whole week, which that's fine. He's talked to him on FaceTime and stuff, but the pressure.
Yeah.
Not only, let me just vent here for a second. Okay. So I've got a kid that's in 2nd grade.
Right.
And I got a kid who's starting middle school, 6th grade.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah. 2 different worlds.
2 different worlds.
2 different schools.
2 different schools. And let me just tell you, I don't quite understand this yet, but the middle school starts an hour earlier than the elementary school.
Yes. Same with where I live.
Really?
Yes.
So what do I do for that hour?
Starbucks?
I know. But I'm going to go broke just taking my kid to school.
Yeah, you are, because you are.
Gracious. Yeah, the last 2 mornings we've done let's go fill up the car with gas.
Because it really makes no sense to go home and sit down for
no, it doesn't.
15 minutes and have to get back up and get right back in another car line.
Yes.
It makes no sense.
So I'm struggling with that a little bit. When my husband's in town, he'll be able to take one of them, and that breaks up, and that's great. And that will be, as much as possible. But right now, it's a little overwhelming. It's a little new. Very fresh.
You could be the first person in line at the elementary school and sit there and eat breakfast in the car.
We were yesterday. It was the first day of school, and I was just like, well, I don't know what else to do now. So we're just going to go to the school and sit. And we sat in the school parking lot and turned on Sirius XM Kids Bop channel.
There you go. Entertainment.
And that was it.
Dance party in the car.
And then finally she was like, can we go now?
So she still allows you to walk her to class.
Well, yesterday she said I had to walk her to class because she couldn't carry all those extra school supply bags. Yes. Yeah. But today she was like, thanks, just drop me off. I'm good.
See, I was really anticipating this being my last year dropping my daughter off at elementary school. I was like, oh, are you going to let me walk you to 5th grade? And she was like, yes, you can walk me the first day. But then at open house, my daughter's on safety patrol.
Yes.
And we didn't think safety patrol was going to work the first day. Well, they are.
Which is opening up the car doors for the car riders,
and hall monitors and things like that. So I was like, oh my gosh, I can't walk you to class. Like, can I come stand with you and then walk you to class? She goes, no, absolutely
You are
not.
absolutely not.
That's ridiculous. Just drop me off. I will see you after school. I was like, okay.
So she's in 5th grade now, right?
Is.
Yeah, okay. So yesterday, was yesterday the first day of school for you?
Yeah, yesterday was Monday.
Monday?
Yeah.
I know. I'm like,
it's
what
already
day is it?
What day is it?
It is today's Tuesday, the 28th. So yesterday was Monday, the first day, and this is my oldest daughter, who's in middle school, like I said. This is her first time riding the bus home.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
how do you feel about that? I'd be all nervous.
I mean, I don't know. I rode the bus whenever I was growing up. Now, I rode to and from a lot of times. Sometimes that was after my brothers were gone, right. And either they would have practices or whatever, and I was still not old enough to maybe play a sport. I was the youngest. So I rode the bus a good bit. My husband rode the bus, and he's kind of, like, everything bad I learned on the bus. And
I don't like that. I don't know if I'm violent argument.
I mean, maybe the common denominator was maybe he was the bad kid because I turned out just fine. So I liked riding the bus. I mean, I thought it was kind of one of those, like, that's what you did, right?
Yeah.
She's been wanting to ride the bus. She also wants to play sports in middle school, which if she makes a team, then she would not have to ride the bus very much in the afternoons.
Right.
You know, I mean,
She'd have practice.
yeah. So we were like, okay, well, let's you start out riding the bus. Well, then I tell her like 2 days before school starts, I'm like, so whenever you go and get on the bus and all, she's like, whoa, wait, I'm riding the first day? And I'm like,
nothing like,
well, yeah. I was like, you gotta do it. I mean, if you don't, then you're going to be that kid that comes in on the next week and everybody else already knows what they've been doing
got
for a
their
week.
seats.
Right. Yeah. You're sitting on some guy named Tyler's lap or something, you know? So she was like, okay, I can do that. You know, I can do this. And I'm like, yep, yes, you can. So at orientation, they gave us these little sticky notes, literally a Post-it.
Okay.
That says what bus number your kid would be and what the driver's name is.
Okay. Can you track it on your phone?
The bus?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay. I need an app that can do that.
I mean,
when it's drop off and when it's Uber does it. Why can't the school buses?
Well, this summer my daughter got a cell phone plan. It's one of our old cell phones.
Right.
But we got her, that was the deal, middle school, mainly because I knew she was going to be riding the bus or having after school sports or activities and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's kind of one of these like, wow, we kind of, as much as I hate to do it, I kind of got to get her something like this.
Yeah.
So we use an old phone, put a plan on it. She takes it to school. She leaves it in the book bag, doesn't touch it. It's on vibrate, all that stuff, whatever. Which also means I can do find my phone on it. So I did.
Awesome.
Yeah. So anyway, school gets out at 2:20, 2:30, something like that. And yesterday I get a text from my daughter at 2:40 that's like, Mom, I'm on the bus, like exclamation point. And I was like, yeah. And so I write back, yay, call me when you get home. And she says, it waits a few minutes and then she writes back and says, Sylvia, which was the lady's name that was on the Post-it note, you know, she's like, Sylvia asked me if I get off at 21st Street. And I said, well, I don't know. Because that's, I mean, you know, like you have a road you get dropped off on, but then the corner road is your road. It's a different address or wherever. She said, she asked me if I got off on 21st Street, and I told her, I don't know. And so I wrote back and was like, no, like you don't get off on 21st Street. That is not anywhere near where we live.
Yeah.
And she writes back, she's like, you know, I don't think I'm on the right bus.
But Sylvia's on the bus.
Sylvia's driving the bus number that they gave us.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I was like, is that bus number this with Sylvia driving? And she writes back, yeah, Sylvia's driving this number bus. We're at the high school right now. And I'm like,
no.
why?
This is not going according to plan.
I don't understand. Of course, I immediately find my phone. And this is the first day of school. And this is at 2:45 in the afternoon. And I'm just like, where's my daughter?
I knew riding the bus was a bad idea.
Everything bad does happen on the bus.
Now high schoolers about to get on it, so it's going to get even worse.
Yes. So the bus gets flooded with high schoolers.
Oh my God.
And then, so I'm typing. I felt like I was typing in like a hostage situation. Because I was like, look around you. Do you know where you are? She's
Do you see any friendly faces?
Right. She was like, nope. In a neighborhood. And I'm like, okay. So I'm doing Find My Phone. I'm watching this thing go around. I mean, I can see where she is. She's not going to know that area or whatever. You know, it's not like we go in people's neighborhoods as you're driving.
I doubt kids even know the street names here anyway.
Exactly. Yeah. So you know your address, and that's about it.
Yeah.
And so it's like radio silence for a while on there, and I'm just watching, waiting for something to happen. And the next text, I see the little bubbles come up, you know, and the next text says, these high school kids are rude. I was like, oh gosh. Now she's really learning everything bad on the bus because all the high school kids are on there with her. So I said, what are you doing? Where are you going? How are you getting home?
I would be in my car by now trying to find that bus.
I was packing up because I figured this bus isn't going to take her home. You know, this is not
21st Street.
This is not. We do not live off 21st Street, anywhere near it. So, she said she's taking me back to school, and
Sylvia.
I said, okay, like, I'm gonna come get you.
What's Sylvia doing? She just took your daughter for a ride?
Yeah,
Want to ride with me to pick up some high school kids?
I guess. She's like, she's taking me back to school, and I was like, okay. And she said, they're going to call all our parents. And I was like, all your parents? What's going on? Charlotte said, there's 5 of us. I'm like, there's 5 of you on the wrong bus? How did this happen? Don't answer that. I'm coming to the school. I'll see you in a minute. I get a text message in the car that just says, we're back at school. In the office. And I'm like, my kid went to the principal's office on the first day of school. Gosh. I get in the door and there's, sure enough, like 5 kids sitting there all like,
We didn't know 21st Street.
This is ridiculous.
They're traumatized by the high school kids on the bus.
Yes. They're all like, doe-eyed, just what just happened. And as you know, I look at the school secretary, and we all know that school secretary on the first day of school.
Yeah,
she's ticked. You know, I mean, she's just ticked in general because everything comes to her.
Yeah,
right?
Everything's happened
Sitting
that
in the
day.
office, she is sitting there doing everything.
She had all the phone calls, all the emails,
everything.
Yeah.
And I kind of just glanced over at her, and I didn't have to say a thing. She looked at me and said, "Miss Baker, we'll figure it out. Charlotte can come by here in the morning, get her bus number. It'll all be fine. Here's the page with your address on it, and here's the other 3 pages of kids that didn't know what bus they were supposed to get on." And I was like, oh, we knew what bus because we had the sticky note. And she was like, yeah, I think that's wrong. And I'm like, clearly. So we leave.
Oh, jeez.
Luckily, my daughter was not scarred by this. Right. Luckily, she was not scarred by this. She kind of thought it was funny. She was luckily had a good day, so she was loving middle school, and everything else trumped that.
Okay.
And then we get on the road, and I was like, well, I'm just going to take you home. Let's go. And we're going home, and we get behind the bus that she was on.
Sylvia's going to your house.
This damn thing pulled in our neighborhood.
It's the same bus.
It's the bus. Charlotte was like, whoa, that's the bus I was on. I was like, really? And I mean, there's the number and stuff. And I was like, Charlotte, that bus is going in our neighborhood. She was like, yep. And I was like, what? So they pull in our neighborhood and start letting kids off at different houses.
High school kids.
High school kids, yes. So then we stopped, and this one girl gets out at her house, and she was like, oh, that's so-and-so. That's that other girl that you saw in the office with me, her sister. And I was like,
why did she stay on the bus with her sister?
They made every middle schooler get off, and the high school kids could stay on. So her sister was a high school.
You're going to the same place.
Exactly.
Like, that's my sister.
So I was like, what? I don't understand. I hope this isn't your bus number because Sylvia's cray-cray. Like, I don't get it. So I don't know what the rule is, but I followed that bus through the neighborhood because I wanted to see all the places that it stopped and see how close it got.
Sylvia's got to stop her.
And I know, yes. And so I'm interested to see, here in just a little bit, I'll be watching my phone to see where her
I can't wait to hear.
is. I know, right?
The Adventures of Charlotte.
I mean, it was funny because, like, again, my husband's out of town. We, called him when we got home, and he was like, what are you doing? I was like, just brought Charlotte home. And he's like, what? I was like, she went for a ride on the wrong bus.
But 2 good things. Good thing we got her phone, and Find My Phone is wonderful.
It works. The app works. Yes. So that was my 6th grade adventure.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
That's a good first day of school.
I mean, she'll never forget it. And I told her, I was like, Charlotte, they're going to be hypersensitive about it today, too. I was like, so whatever bus you get on, you stay on it. Like, you protest if they try to take you off that bus. Like, you be like, no, just take me home.
I still don't understand why they went to the high school.
To pick up kids.
But were they supposed to before they dropped off the middle school kids?
They picked up middle school kids. Okay.
Okay.
Then I think they took a couple of them home.
That were on the way to the high school?
Yes.
Okay.
Then picked up kids at the high school and then started making the rounds.
Did no one see the problem with middle school and high school kids being on the bus together?
I think
this is why I
those
don't let my
middle
daughter
school
ride the
kids are
bus.
supposed to be off the bus before they pick up those high school kids. She makes a few stops on the
Yeah.
way to the high school to be efficient, I guess. And then they should have been off. Well, then she looks back and there's 5 kids sitting there.
Like,
As she pulls in the high
21st
school,
Street?
she's like, my bad. You know, like, I don't think I go to your road. And so then, I think at that point, then you're not supposed to be on the bus with the high schoolers. But see, when I was growing up, I shared a bus with high school and middle school. That's how I got a boyfriend that I shouldn't have had at one point.
That's why we don't that's why we don't intermix the school.
I had one boyfriend. We used to hold hands on the bus. We never really spoke at all, but he was in high school and I was in middle school, and the only time I ever saw him was riding the bus.
It was your bus love.
Yeah, it was. I knew where he lived. I knew where he lived, and we used to put a coat over our hands because that's where you held hands. My mom's not listening.
My daughter will never ride the bus.
I know, sorry about that.
Hey, but let me tell you a story. Why you should not ride the bus. And why I will not allow you to ride the bus.
His name was Kevin.
2 quick stories.
Yeah. His name was Kevin.
And then the bus driver's name was Sylvia.
We never spoke.
That's
he's a bartender now.
And
Yeah.
meanwhile, your other kid's just like, 2nd grade,
I
yay!
know, but it's like mine's thriving over here in 2nd grade. She's doing great. Everything was fine. Yeah, her day I was expecting something to like come up. Instead, she was like, they served my favorite lunch. It was the best day ever for her. So,
Oh, cool.
anywho, yeah. So that's my chick, as in the two of us chatting.
That was hilarious.
Vent
I've
for
got
just
tears
a
in
little
my
bit.
eyes.
Yeah,
That was
well,
the best
there you go.
story.
I can't believe it happened.
I love
It's
the
so
text
funny. We
messages between. You've got to write it down. It's hilarious. It's got to be a short story somewhere.
Oh, but we have so much entertainment news to catch up on because there's so much going on. I mean, it has been summertime. What are you watching on TV?
When I'm not driving back and forth
Yeah,
places.
because your child. Yeah,
I've been doing a lot of catching up on things. Big Brother, which I'm annoyed with, so I only watch it sparingly. I check Joker's updates more than I watch,
so that you know what's going on.
Yes.
Okay.
And
I've been watching it as well. It's not my favorite season. I'm not liking
annoyed
what they're doing.
because the alliances don't make sense to me this year.
I agree.
The group that has always won the head of household is somehow
Yeah.
getting voted out.
Yes.
I don't get how people's alliances are working this season.
They're not working. That's the key.
Why are you voting out your own people?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah. I can't stand, we've talked about this before, but I cannot stand on Big Brother when the House decides right before the vote to make it unanimous.
It's ridiculous.
Or to all go and somebody gives a sympathy vote or something, like whatever, which at that point it doesn't matter.
Yeah, why are you doing that?
I can't stand that. You know what? I want to see a season where they're not allowed to talk game for like the final 24 hours beforehand or something like that. You know, like, or if they talk game, they have to pre-cast their vote or something like that. I don't know. Somehow that they can't all just sit there and go, hey, listen, here's the deal. You're going to be going home today because we're all going to vote together. Like, that's what you always find out whenever they come out the door.
Horrible.
The people that just voted out go, well, I kind of had an idea because they told me 6 hours ago. And you're like, boo. Like, I want you to be there and be mad. I want you to be happy. I want you to
It makes those speeches
stomp
they
out
give
the
just
door.
kind of be like, I don't even need to hear the speeches about why you should keep me.
Yeah, it's dumb. You know, so anyway, but the whole, this season's a little wonky.
Yeah, but do
like,
you
it's
get
weird.
what I'm saying? Like,
Absolutely.
the two different groups, it's like the one group, except for maybe 2 or 3 head of households, have been in power.
Yeah.
But they somehow always evict their own.
Yeah.
Or get their own on the block.
Yeah.
And I don't understand.
Because the other side has a couple of, like, veto beasts.
Well, and I also think Sam threw a monkey wrench in a lot of things.
I think Sam
She's kind of playing the middle a little bit. She's not really
Totally.
part of an alliance.
Totally.
And they both kind of use her, but she kind of votes more one way than the other.
Yeah.
And I'm still confused as to whether or not she used her thing where someone could come back in the house.
Yeah.
Did she use that?
Yeah.
On who?
Caitlin But Caitlin didn't do the competitions, didn't win the competition, so it was just a chance to come back in the house.
Oh, see, they made it seem like she was going to come back.
No, it was just a chance.
Okay.
And so that's why she saved it as long as she did, was because, if it was her, she knew she at least had a chance to come back in. And Caitlin was given that chance, and it was like a puzzle. And she didn't do the puzzle in time. The time limit she had or whatever, so she got sent home that time, and she was pissed.
I'm just floored because the people, I'm like, oh yeah, because it's my favorite alliance, and I was like, yay, you're head of household.
Yeah.
Why did you nominate him?
Right.
And why do people care who gives who a sympathy vote? Why does it matter? Like, that was the whole episode last week. Like, that was the whole driving theme, was who gave the sympathy vote, and I'm going to
come after you now. And I'm always like,
why?
Why? It doesn't matter.
It's their vote.
Yeah. I can't stand that. When after the votes are over, and then everybody sits up there in the HOH room, and the HOH is like, I need to know who voted this way. It is anonymous. That's why you go in a separate room.
And I could get that conversation if you thought you were voting someone out and the vote ended up being like 5-4.
Right.
And you thought you were going the other way. That's the conversation.
One person that voted to keep somebody,
61,
come on. Who cares?
Why do you care who that one is?
That person knew what was happening.
You obviously know at that point it's a sympathy vote.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why does it matter?
Yeah. Because if it wasn't a sympathy vote, you're that far removed from the group anyway. You're not involved in that conversation. You're probably the next one up on the block.
Right. And now all you've done is you're sending that person to jury.
Yeah.
To tell everybody else, I got voted out because I gave you a vote. Well, now you've messed up your whole jury votes because they're going to be like, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I was on your side.
Yeah.
And you voted me out.
I know. It's dumb. I'm not a huge fan of the season, and I also
we need to give them our ideas. I'm
every time. I know. I hate this technology twist they're doing. That's dumb. Like, don't play on technology when you are supposed to be in a house without technology. Like, that's what's so silly about it, and everything looks cartoonish.
Yeah,
I hate
who had the most mentions this week?
I'm like, who cares? That's not how this works.
I liked the original first few seasons when no one knew what to do.
They were all just playing an actual game against each other.
And I still would like a clarification, because I still don't believe that if you win the veto and you don't use it on yourself, if you use it on a house guest, that makes you vulnerable.
No, and
they did that one year.
I think it maybe used to, but I know right now, every time they say like, oh, well, if so-and-so, if Fessy wins the veto and he takes Haley off the block, then we can't get Fessy or Haley out.
But is that in the rules, or are they just assuming that?
Yeah,
because
I don't know.
That's how Marcellus got voted out in his season.
And I don't know.
He used the veto on his friend Amy,
put up.
and then he got put up that same time and got voted out.
Yeah.
So which makes sense to me. I would love it if it went that way.
I think it would be amazing.
Because nobody would use the veto. Mm-hmm. Unless
you felt strong enough, you weren't going home or whatever.
Or you were the head of household and you won.
Yeah. So, no, I don't know.
I need clarification, CBS.
Yes. I've been watching it too, so I'm caught up on it, and I mean, now I'm just invested. Now I just have to see what happens. But now they're just going through the motion. Now, though, I will admit, is when it starts, like the battle back happens this week between the first 4 jury house members.
Yeah.
And then there's bound to be a double eviction, which is my favorite week when they do a double eviction, just because no one has time to talk.
Right.
That's why I like it. They do it, and then they're all like, oh, you have 30 seconds to make a nomination. You're like, okay. And, and you start thumbing, I think it's great. That's my favorite week.
Yeah, they should do that every week.
I love it. God, just pack that house full of people and then double. Keep doing it.
I would love it if the evictions happen the next day.
Absolutely.
Your head of household, pick somebody, they're going to be eliminated the next day.
Yeah. I mean, turn this thing over. Nonetheless. Okay, so what else are you catching up on?
What else have I caught up on? I did watch Orange is the New Black, their new season.
I'm halfway through. I haven't finished it.
It wasn't my favorite season, but it wasn't the best. But it was
agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was good though. It was fine.
I think if it was better, I would have already been done with it.
Yeah, I kind of just was like, let me just get through this.
I just got a couple and then was like, I need to take a break.
Oh, there were definitely days where I was like, I'm only in episode 3 and it's been 2 weeks. I
Yeah.
watch another episode.
Right.
Not like before when I'm like, finish the whole thing in a few days.
It now. Yeah.
What else have I been? A lot of things on Netflix and just catching up on DVR, just back stuff.
So, you know how I told you on the last episode that I was watching The Bachelor?
Yes.
Bachelorette. Excuse me. First time that I've ever watched it. I finished it. One of the guys that I predicted would win won.
Yep.
It was what I thought at the time pretty painful to watch. Some of these things were just, it was just crazy to watch. And then I started watching Bachelor in Paradise. And I realized
trash-tastic.
I realized I was wrong. The Bachelorette was actually pretty classy at that point.
Yes.
She went on actual dates and was dating these guys. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
It's raunchy.
Bachelor in Paradise is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I had no idea what it was. I had heard it. You always hear oh, maybe they'll head to paradise or whatever. And I just didn't understand what the concept was.
I don't want to go to paradise.
I don't want to get venereal disease,
right.
An STD.
I'm not swimming in any pools, getting in any hot tubs. I'm going to be the most boring paradise contestant ever.
I watched the first 2 episodes because I guess it's like a 2-night thing each week,
for no reason.
It is 4 hours of my life for a week that is what am I doing?
It doesn't need to be that long.
But you know how I am. I'm going to follow it now that I've started. Now. I got to figure out what's happening. Pretty sure I'll never watch it again. However,
I did the same thing. I watched one season. I was like,
yeah. But but I also have been fooled before. So I was kind of well, let me just see, whatever. And then I'm like, no, you're right. It's trash. But holy crap. That is, it's awkward to watch. It is, I can't even explain. New people coming in, and then you have to go on a date with them.
It's like speed dating at a resort.
It is speed dating, and then they alternate, and then they... But what I didn't realize, I guess, was that there was another rose competition. I didn't realize that Bachelor in Paradise was a rose competition thing.
Just boys
where people
girls.
are going to get sent home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's guys' night, girls' night.
Right. And you better make sure that you've made a connection with somebody so that they'll give you a rose, or if not, you're going home.
Right. And the thing I don't get is there's several women and several men on this show, not like The Bachelorette where there's one woman or one man. Right. Okay. So even if you know that someone has a connection with someone else and they're kind of dating, you can still be like, I want to go on a date with him.
Right.
Why?
I'm currently, last night, watched an episode where a female went on 3 different dates because a new guy came in.
Okay.
But she told the first guy, you're the one. And then the second guy came along and she was like, okay, fine, I'll go on a date. But I'm telling you that I really like the first guy.
Right.
And he was like, fair enough, but I want to take you on a date. And she was like, well, then that's fine because I've said my piece. Well, then they go on the date and of course they hit it off. They're making out on the beach and stuff. And then the next day, a new person comes in to the island and he has a date card and picks her. And everybody's like, what is going on?
Girl?
Yeah. I don't know.
She got a reputation on the island.
See, she's about to. Yeah. But it's interesting to watch. And so the reason I watched this one is because I was invested in some of the guys that were in Bachelorette. Yeah. And that's where they bring some of the people over. But then they also have other people that I don't know from other seasons.
To me, the reason I stopped watching was because I was like, this is really gross.
Yeah.
But it just, to me, kind of made me understand why I always thought The Bachelor and The Bachelorette were fake.
Yeah.
Because these guys get on there and they're like, oh, I love you and we're going to do this. And then they get on Bachelor in Paradise and woo!
Yeah.
They're personality completely does a 180.
Yeah.
And it's like, who are you really? Is this you? Or was that guy in the suit every day I'll rub your feet and bring you wine every night we're at home? Is that you?
Well, Colton, who we discussed on the last episode because he was on the Bachelorette season that I was watching.
Yes.
And then he was a
football player.
He was a former pro football player. He came on the Bachelorette. But in the downtime before the Bachelorette went on the air, he actually dated one of the girls from Ari's season.
Oh,
who was
I
the
thought he dated Allie Raisman. Wasn't he the one who dated the
Maybe,
gymnast?
I don't know.
Maybe dated her too.
Right.
Yeah.
But one of the contestants that apparently went pretty far, went to meet the parents or whatever on the guy, the Bachelor before this, because they alternate, right?
Yeah.
Bachelor, Bachelorette. Ari. Mm-hmm. She was on his season. So whenever she was off, they met, went on a few dates.
And that was the season Becca was on.
And Becca was on that season, right. And so Becca was the one that got engaged, and then he broke it off with her afterwards. So then Becca's the new bachelorette, and whenever she meets Colton, like a couple dates in or whatever, he says, look, I just want to give you a heads up. Like, I went out a few times with Tia. Okay?
Yeah.
So Becca was like, oh, because she's kind of weirded out because she's like, well, Tia's one of my friends, And so she was like, were you coming here hoping that the Bachelorette was going to be Tia? Because they don't announce it, until right before they film it. And he was like, no. He's like, I didn't even really think about it that way. He's like, we just kind of met. We hung out some, whatever. And then I got the call that I was cast, and I went, and then here you are, Well, then he made it to where, like, she went to his home. Like, he made it that long. They really hit it off. Everybody was pulling for him. Like, online and stuff. It was all about Colton. He was a virgin.
What?
Mm-hmm. And so he talks about this and admits it on national television to everybody, saying that he had pretty much lied, like, most of his life because he had been in locker rooms and stuff for so long, And so, but that he was just saying this. He wanted her to know. So then he takes her home to meet his parents and stuff. And then before that rose ceremony, I guess, at the end of the Meet the Parents one, I guess kind of a big deal because the next one is like
the final two. The
real deal, right? Like you're about to go meet her parents now. And so it was a big deal. And she has her friends come in, to give her advice or whatever. And Tia takes her out on the balcony and was like, I just got to tell you, I still have feelings for Colton.
What? She blew it for her.
She said it. She's like, I've still got feelings for Colton. And Becca was like, oh my gosh, like, I just met his family, whatever. And Tia's like, I don't want this to change anything of what you're thinking.
Really?
Yeah. So then
she was there specifically to make sure it didn't happen.
All the people online get pissed off at Tia.
Yeah.
Right? And so then Becca comes in, doesn't give Colton a rose, sends him home. Everybody's like, oh, Tia, like, you did this. And she's all, like, on the camera, like, I swear this wasn't by Tia's choice, or, what Tia said had no influence over this. And we're all like, you lie. You lie. But Colton didn't know that Tia was there and that said anything. So he gets sent home. Tia gets sent to Paradise. Tia's at Paradise and basically is, like, waiting on Colton to come. So other people take her out on dates, and she's like, that was really fun, but I'm kind of hoping Colton shows up at some point. Sure enough, Colton shows up, and he came straight from being booted on The Bachelorette. Mm-hmm. So he's still pretty, like, scarred a little bit because he was really into Becca. And, and then so she gets all pissy on Paradise because he's not really ready to, like, commit to her. And in the meantime, he has found out, obviously, that Tia came and said I had feelings and kind of ruined his shot with Becca.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that was kind of the drama that started out.
Okay,
Paradise
that sounds
for
fascinating.
me, and that made sense to me.
Has he gone on a date with her?
Yes.
Oh.
I know. And so now it's like...
Are they together now?
They're going to give it a shot. Yeah.
But I still feel like that's not really... I mean, I don't know. I guess you could say...
He held her off. He basically was like, I want to go on a date with somebody else. I want you to go on a date with somebody else and all. And she threw a fit. And then finally he was like, fine, look, you're right. Like, we do have feelings for each other. It's fine. Let's just give it a shot.
Did he have feelings for her before... when he was with Becca?
He said he didn't. He said he didn't. He said it was over with when he was with Becca. But then he didn't quite realize that, like, he'd be put on Paradise later and that she'd be there and all this stuff. And now Becca, obviously, not there. Oh, and Becca shows up on Paradise, like, right after Colton had been there. And Colton was just like, oh, my gosh, like, I'm kind of not ready for this. Like, I just left, like, my house with her, visiting my parents there. So it was that really got me kind of like hooked at the first. So now I got to watch all the stupid stuff afterwards. Anyway,
debauchery.
So I will admit something else that I've always kind of given you a hard time about the fact that you still watch Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I stopped years ago after George died.
after George?
Yeah.
Girl, you got some catching up to do.
I stopped when George died.
Okay. We're like 10 seasons ahead.
Correct. So all summer and probably spring, I guess, or whatever, I have been watching the Netflix Grey's Anatomy series, whatever. And I started from season 1 because I honestly couldn't remember. I mean, that was a long time ago.
All you know is George died.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I remember there was a girl named Izzy, but I can't remember what happened, yada, yada. And so I've been watching it, and that's pretty much been I might watch something that was recorded currently, like a show that I've been watching. But then I, before bed or something, would maybe watch a Grey's Anatomy. Okay. Right? So I'm on season 12.
Okay, you're almost there.
Yeah.
About 4 more seasons, maybe? I don't know what we're on. Yeah.
I'm on season 12. And so, anyway, I'm catching up. So that's been my...
And it's not so bad.
It's not. It's not.
You've got a lot of stuff that kind of blows your mind. Like,
holy
what?
Crap, everyone's
I might not work in this hospital.
Yeah.
It might be time to quit.
I was about to say, why the hell are y'all still there? I don't understand. But... I do have a tiny feeling that I could probably operate and do at least an appy with somebody. I kind of think I could do it.
Oh, I'm convinced I can do open heart surgery.
Right.
Be a neurologist, no problem.
I could clip an aneurysm easily. Suction.
I can at least get a line started.
Suction.
I can at least get...
Right.
Open
Lap
the nasal
pads.
passage. Oh, yeah, I could definitely do the charge. Got that.
Charge to 200. Clear.
What's your training? 16 years of Grey's Anatomy. I'm good.
No kidding. So I'm getting there. That's been happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have had lots of stuff happen. Some of the most recent things I have pulled up and made a couple of notes on so that we could talk about them a little bit. Super, super sad news this past week. Aretha Franklin passed away. Just unbelievable. She was 76 years old, had a pretty amazing life, but I am loving her tribute station on SiriusXM. If anybody wants to go, I think it's 47 or something like that. It's awesome to listen to. And then
they haven't had her funeral yet, have they?
She's lying in state. Is that what you say?
In Michigan?
I don't know.
Okay. I didn't realize that. It's been 2 weeks, right?
Kind of thought so. I know I got...
I'm sure her funeral would have been televised. I would not have missed that. It would at least been a news item.
It will be broadcast on television, is what this article says. It will be. So her funeral will be available on online and television, live streamed, full broadcast, TV stations in Detroit, and then live portions other places. I guess she's major artists will perform at the ceremony, including Stevie Wonder, Shaka Khan, Ronald Isley, Jennifer Hudson, Faith Hill, Fantasia, and Yolanda Adams.
But no date.
I don't see it yet. Speakers include Bill Clinton, Smokey Robinson, Cicely Tyson, Clive Davis, Rick Snyder, the mayor, Reverend Jesse Jackson, and former U.S. Attorney General Eric Holder. I don't quite understand all those, but whatever. I'm
shocked Barack Obama's not speaking.
I'm surprised as well. It says that 4 days of events are planned for this.
It sounds like at least a 4-hour funeral.
Yeah, definitely. Funeral visitations are Tuesday and Wednesday, today and tomorrow.
Oh, so that means it should be this week.
Yes. Her body will lie in repose. Is that the word?
I guess.
Okay. At the Charles Wright Museum for African American History. Viewing will be open to the public on both days. Museums open from 9 to 9. Yeah. Okay. And then there'll be additional day of viewing at her church.
Oh.
On Thursday.
So maybe Friday or Saturday?
Ish. Yeah. Good gracious. So, sad loss.
Yeah.
Hate that. In other happy news, odd news, there are 2 engagements I wanted to bring up real quick.
Okay.
I need your thought on it.
I think I know where you're going with this, and I have thoughts on both.
Okay. First one is Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson, the most awkward Saturday Night Live character ever. Yes. Cast member. Character. I say character because I feel like that's what he is in life.
He doesn't really do much on there. No, he's always like a supporting.
He's very awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, Ariana Grande. Thoughts? After, I think it was about 2 days or whatever of dating, right?
Yes. Shocked.
Yes.
I'm still trying to get used to it, I guess. It's one of those things where they're not a couple I would have ever paired together.
Right. She ended her relationship with Mac Miller on May 10th of this year.
She just seems like, of the people I know she's publicly dated, I don't know about, who she's privately dated, but I'm not sure of her type.
Right.
I'm just not sure, where we're going with any of this.
Well, so on the 10th is when she broke up with Mac. Mm-hmm. Okay? That was May 10th. May 12th, she's seen hanging out at an after party for SNL. Not a big deal. I mean, that's... Yeah. Everybody kind of does that, I guess, right? If you're famous. But then on May 16th, 4 days later, Pete reveals that he and his girlfriend, Cassie David, are over, which is Larry David's daughter.
Yeah.
Okay? So that was the 16th. The 20th, 4 more days later, they were snuggling at the Billboard Music Awards. And then on the 21st...
They went public 4 days after his breakup?
Yes.
And he was with Cassie for 4 years, right?
Yeah, and then 8 years.
8 years?
I mean, 8 days after... 8 days after her breakup, basically.
Yeah.
And then on the 21st, a day later, they confirmed that they are dating. The 23rd, they noticed that they have matching tattoos. The fans notice.
Of course.
And then the 25th, they defend each other online for love. And 28th, they are making s'mores, living together, and say I love you on the 30th online. And then June 2nd, they are officially engaged.
That was some cast party by SNL.
Pretty much.
That cast party did something to their lives.
Yeah. I mean, they are
happy for them if,
if they're happy, sure. If it's legit. I mean, if it's just not dumb and let's be stupid because we kind of thought each other were really cool to hang out with.
Young, rich, and famous.
Yeah, and we can do this and you make me laugh. Okay.
You're funny.
That's great.
Yeah. And you sing really pretty.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's
I need Frankie's thoughts on this. Frankie Grande.
Absolutely. It all comes back to Big Brother.
It does.
We did forget to mention that Big Brother will be having a second season of Celebrity Big Brother coming
let Frankie
up.
Be on it.
Would be pretty amazing to go from regular house guest to celebrity now. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Frankie's enough of a celebrity.
I agree.
He's done things.
Enough now. He's a YouTuber.
Yeah.
So can you guess who my next engagement is to discuss?
Is it the Biebs? Did you forget the Biebs?
I did forget the Biebs, mainly because I don't usually care about him. Right. But
that was another one that's guess what? Getting married, huh?
He's marrying
Haley Baldwin.
Haley Baldwin. Yeah, I was about to say it was Baldwin.
Until she got engaged to Justin Bieber, I seriously thought it was Alex's daughter. Didn't realize it was Steven's daughter.
Oh, I thought it was Billy's.
No, it's Steven's. And we forgot about Steven, right? And then I remembered, there's another one. There's Billy. Does he have a daughter?
Billy was always the rowdy one. I kind of feel like Billy probably has multiple kids.
Ooh, Billy might.
Yeah. Which one?
Steven's the young blonde one.
No, Billy is. Right?
No, that's Steven. Billy's kind of taller, kind of bulkier.
Why are we?
I know the Baldwin brothers. Don't test me on the Baldwin brothers.
I'm pulling it up.
Steven's the one who, he's a lot different from the rest of them. He lives...
I'm going to need images here.
You live in Wyoming? I might be making that up. Don't quote me.
I'm going to need proof here. So, The Baldwin. Okay.
Baldwin brothers.
They all say the Baldwin brothers. Yes, I'm well aware, but I don't know which one's which.
There's Alec.
So, I mean, I know Alec. Okay, we
Which
know
one's the
Alec.
second one?
And Alec was the one that flipped out on his kid on the phone, right?
Yes. And which one's married to the girl from Wilson Phillips, China Phillips?
What?
Yeah.
China?
China Phillips from Wilson Phillips. You know her parents were in the Mamas and was it the Mamas and the Papas?
Yes.
Yeah. He's married to her.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we got to figure this out.
There's
So there's
Stephen-
4 of them. There's
Stephen,
4 Baldwin
Billy,
brothers.
Stephen, Billy. Maybe Billy's the second one. I might
There's
be getting
4.
Yeah. Maybe I don't know the fourth one's name.
I don't think anybody does.
Stephen. And I just remembered Stephen after
Okay, Stephen Baldwin is maybe not the one I'm thinking about.
Right.
Okay. He's the youngest.
Yes.
Stephen's the youngest, and actor and reality star. Okay. Been married to Kenna.
Yeah, we don't know
since 1990. Okay.
Yeah.
Alec, I know him. I can pick him out.
Billy's the second one, right?
Daniel's
Daniel's the one I don't know. Daniel's the one I had in
He's
my
the
mind.
third oldest.
Okay. Yes.
He's also acted and starred in some reality shows, namely Celebrity Rehab. Shocker. A Baldwin in Rehab.
Okay, so Billy's the one married to China.
Billy.
He's
Daniel. Billy.
cute
Okay,
one.
yes, Billy is married to China.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's the cute one.
Yeah, he's a little more put together. So he's been married since 95.
Aww.
He's the 4th kid in the family.
Oh, he's
married-
the youngest.
No,
Oh.
there's 5 of them? Wait.
We thought we established
Okay.
Stephen was the youngest.
They have 3 children. And he's formerly a model.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he is.
Daniel,
He's got the squinty, smoky eyes.
Yeah, he does.
He always looks like he's puzzled. But he's like
There's
got that sexy
sisters
look.
too, which
Oh,
we don't
know
really
the
care
sisters.
about.
We don't know the sisters.
I don't really care about the
I'm not
Baldwin
invested
sisters.
yet.
So I'm going to. I can.
Daniel's the
Nip
one
this really
Daniel's the one
quickly
I
here.
confused with Billy. So Daniel's the taller. He's played some supporting roles in some movies that I'm aware of.
So there's
I can't name
4
them, but
Baldwin brothers: Alec, Daniel, William, Stephen.
William's also
It's Billy. Yeah, sorry. Alec, Daniel, Billy, Stephen. Right?
Yes.
And then there's 2 sisters.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They all oddly look a lot alike.
They do look a lot alike, all of them.
very-
Which is why I thought.
Very.
I was like, oh, Haley
much
must
alike.
be Alex's kid.
Yes. So we're looking at a picture
Oh, they all have
here.
the squinty eyes.
Yeah, you said squinty eyes a minute ago. I was like,
Yes,
doesn't help.
it's a trait.
So I know you guys can't see, but I am pointing out here. This is the lesser known
Daniel.
the lesser known Daniel Baldwin.
He does not have the squinty eyes.
This is Alec Baldwin.
Yes.
This is Stephen
Yes.
Baldwin,
And he
and this is Billy.
Yes. And
See,
Stephen.
these 2 are the ones I was getting mixed up.
Okay. See, and I mixed up his name, but I got his face,
Daniel.
but named him Billy.
Okay.
So Haley's father, Stephen, who's also the shortest one,
He's very much the shortest
she
one.
looks just like him.
She does. And he is about to be Justin Bieber's
Father-in-law.
father-in-law. Okay.
It all goes back
And now we're back on topic.
yes.
So they're engaged. Are you
I
placing
still-
the odds on them actually getting married?
Yeah, they probably will.
Like in Reno or like...
No, I don't know. Does her daddy still live on a farm? If he lives on a farm, it'll be on the farm.
You oddly know a lot about the Baldwin brothers. How does
It's like
this
some of that
happen?
useless knowledge that I have that gets me nowhere.
How do you know
But
this
I will
much
tell
about
you.
them?
Like, I don't know. Because I think I read, because I seriously
I'm gonna
thought he was
save
still
this
dating
picture.
Selena Gomez. So when it said he was engaged to Haley Baldwin, I'm like, what?
You did some
What,
Wikipedia.
what happened to Selena?
I'm gonna save this picture and post it for everyone to see who we're discussing as the brothers Baldwin.
But Alex is about to be a new dad. Hilaria, his wife, is pregnant again.
Her name's Hilaria.
Yes.
You know who else is about to be a dad again for the 10th time?
Who?
Eddie Murphy.
Uh-uh.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay,
His-
I don't feel so old
His
having a kid
baby
now.
of a wife is having a child.
Wow.
Hi, I'm Alan,
I'm Chris.
and we're the co-hosts of Foot Candle Films, a movie review and film discussion show here on the Mesh.tv.
Each episode, we talk about some new movies, cover some film news, and have some recommendations.
And trust us, we're just as likely to talk about the latest Jim Jarmusch film as we are the newest Transformers installment.
Hold on, don't get too crazy.
Well, okay, maybe not that bad. But you can find our show and all our episodes on themesh.tv. Plus, you can subscribe to get new episodes delivered right to your computer or mobile device.
We'll see you in the ticket line.
Okay, so that wasn't the couple that I was going to talk about, but now that we've discovered so much about the Baldwin brothers, speaking of squinty eyes, mine was Nick Jonas and Priyanka Chopra.
Okay, yeah, he does have squinty eyes. They've got that sexy smolder.
I feel like I posted this on Chick Chat one day, and I had some other people that were like, oh, great, now I can't see anything but that. I feel like he's dating his babysitter. Right?
I get it.
She's 11 years older than him. And I don't necessarily care about the age gap. Like, whatever. These days, I mean, it's whatever. And you're both kind of famous and stuff. It's just, she seems and appears and acts so much older.
Yeah, and the height
In my
difference
mind.
doesn't help.
No, it doesn't. She's had to wear flats in her Indian garb.
She's going to have to wear flats a lot.
A lot. Poor
Or
thing.
he'll have to wear...
And he cocks his eyebrows so much and stuff. And every picture that I've seen, he's this.
Love his songs. We'll say that. His
I
solo
can't
stuff.
name any of his songs.
I know he has one called Bacon.
Bacon.
Yes.
I know that his brother sings a song, the Cake by the Ocean
Yes, he does. And he's in that band DNCE or whatever.
Yes.
Which I don't know if it's dance or if it's just initials. I don't know.
one. True. Like NSYNC. Did you know that NSYNC is made up of initials from their name?
You know I did.
Okay. It's their last letter of each of their name. And for those of you doing the math out there, Lance's birth name is Lanson. So therefore, he is the second N in NSYNC. Throwing that out there.
We started useless knowledge segment.
Of, yes. So did you know that Cake by the Ocean is, they sing it on Kids Bop radio.
Right.
Right? But did you hear the story of why it's a song called Cake by the Ocean?
Didn't they think it was a drink? They thought that was the name of a
The
drink?
boys did when the DN whatever.
DNCE or dance?
Yes, or dance went overseas to perform. There were these guys at a bar that were talking to them, and they were like, "Oh, we want to come to America. Like, we love America, and we love we want to like cake by the ocean." And they were like, "I'm sorry, what?" And they were like, like cake by the ocean, And it was actually, they thought they were talking about Sex on the Beach.
The drink, yeah.
No,
they didn't think they were talking about the drink? Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so they were like,
Are there no beaches where they live?
so this was like
Okay.
what they were discussing.
Okay.
Yeah. And then it became like Cake by the Ocean, and now kids think it's like cute because it's like cupcakes or something.
I love that song.
I
They
love
played it
that
on
song.
Disney.
I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Yes. It's definitely about sex on the beach.
Okay.
Um,
Now you're like, you can't listen to this.
yes. So, yeah. That
Yeah, I mean, they're a cute couple, but I get it.
they're both handsome. I mean, like incredibly good looking.
And it was kind of one of those relationships, again, that came out of nowhere. I felt like they dated for 2 days and then they got engaged. I mean, I'm sure they maybe privately dated. And it's none of my business. I mean, but
It kind of
but
is.
if you're putting yourself out there and you're going to announce your engagement, I need to know that
Kinda
you've
is.
dated more than twice. Like, you've been on more than 2 dates before you're getting married.
I'm going to need to know that you're invested.
Right. Like, don't get me all invested in your relationship just to break my heart. I
got
can't deal
time
with
for
it.
this.
I got things going on.
Okay.
Like,
I got time for you.
I've got the
to
Bees
break
getting
up.
married. I've got Ariana Grande
I mean,
getting
we
married.
just came off Royal Wedding Watch. Like, we
Right.
really need some
Right.
serious people here.
If I'm going to put aside my baby watch, my royal baby watch,
This is true.
I'm going to need to be like, you need to be all in.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Will Meghan and Harry show up at the wedding in India?
See, I know. Like, well, I saw an article that was like, is Meghan actually allowed to be one of Priyanka's like
Bridesmaids?
bridesmaids? I don't think she is.
She should go.
I think she
to the
should go.
wedding.
Yeah, absolutely. Skype
Why
her in
can't
or
she be
something.
a bridesmaid if Harry can be a best man?
I don't know. I don't know the rules. I got fed up with the headline and didn't read the article. Like, I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But it will be interesting to see. Ooh, not an engagement.
Okay.
Quite the opposite.
Uh-oh.
Did you watch the entire season of Southern Charm?
Yes. It was painful to watch because I could not stand Ashley.
Year. Yeah, me neither. I mean, I couldn't stand her so much that I went and followed her on Instagram just so that I could just see what she talks about on there. And I followed her and Catherine. I always follow Shep because I like him, and I follow Cam.
Because those two are the best.
Yeah. But so the season has finished. Did you watch the reunion? Mm-hmm. Okay. So the reunion, Thomas did not come because he's technically
under investigation
yes. Again for
assault
again. Mm-hmm. This is the second time that within the realm of the shows we have seen this, right? Mm-hmm. So he's under his second investigation. He has since quit the show because he said he was being used by people.
I'm fine with it.
Sure. I don't care. And now he has accused Ashley of cheating and they have broken up for good.
I'm good with it. I'm fine with that too.
Absolutely. Yeah. So they're done. Catherine is living her best life.
She is. I have a prediction.
Okay, bring it.
Or maybe, I don't know, a hope. I think Catherine and Shep will get together.
Well, did you see that episode where they just started talking about how they do, get together because a lot of times?
But there was a picture of them. I guess Catherine, what's Whitney's mom's name? Whitney's mom? The one the older lady that always hangs out.
Yes, Patricia.
Or I don't know if it was Miss Patricia's party or Catherine's birthday party, and Miss Patricia came.
Yeah.
But Shep was there, and he was praising or heaping praise on Catherine and all this stuff, and I was like, I see a relationship coming. Catherine, I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
It's weird.
It is a little odd,
hate it.
But I think it almost makes sense now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think Cameron would be happy with it.
And
big
we all know that's
Cameron
the big important part.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
For Shep, it is. His parents and Cameron.
Yeah, because I'm a little, I'm over. Okay, so I've watched Southern Charm since the beginning,
yes.
So it's been several seasons now. It doesn't seem like it, but it has been a handful of seasons. I used to just find Shep super charming too. And almost one of these why is he not with somebody? Right. And then you
watch the show.
Then you watch and you find out I see he's kind of a player. He's also doesn't really care about settling down and stuff. But yet for someone who acts the way he does, but yet talks so much about how he does want to settle down, I'm kind of he's my age.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of obviously love knows no age, but it just seems like he's still in the same rut, if you will.
I
don't know if rut is the word.
I'm over Catherine being the victim.
Agreed.
I really need for her to just find her own.
Agreed.
And find someone who she can really love and who really loves her back. Because I don't think Thomas
so that she's not on a weird she's
not obsessive. She's not. I need her to not be that girl.
Yeah, I feel like she's constantly in her head about it. You know what I'm saying? She's been scarred.
Oh yeah,
by Thomas essentially.
I mean, if you have one baby and then you have another one, and then you still this guy is still taking. I mean, understand why he took the kids away. I get it, but
right.
I feel like this season was her redemption season.
She's done so good on her whole rehab stuff and everything like that. Great. So
and I was with her. I was with her the whole way. With Ashley was out of bounds with her.
Ashley was ridiculous,
and so was
with
Thomas.
Some of the stuff that she said and done, and oh my gosh!
I mean, just throwing my kids in my face. I mean, she showed more composure than I probably would have shown.
Absolutely. I saw a lot of growth in Catherine in one season. Just one season. So I'll take,
I don't know if she and Shep will ever happen, but I wouldn't hate it.
I would not hate it, like you said. And it would make for some pretty good television, I kind of think.
Awesome.
I'm, special alert. Dee, 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 dee. My daughter just texted me and is at home.
Yay! She did it.
Made it on the bus.
Yay.
I'm saying like, oh my gosh, hey.
Best day ever.
What is going on? Are you alive? Did someone steal your phone? I tracked her just a little bit ago and it said she was in the neighborhood. I was like, oh. And so now, like...
Now we just have to find out if Sylvia got her there.
I know, right? I'm just telling her to call you in a bit. Call you in a second. Da-da-da. Okay, anyway, so moving on. So speaking of that... which led me into the fact that Catherine showed up in Hickory the other day. This is where we live.
You texted me.
We live here.
I was like, what?
We live in Hickory.
Yeah.
And I follow her on Instagram. And on Instagram, it has her walking, like someone's on her page. She's walking, and she's written text on there. It says Hickory NC. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, I thought my lines got crossed somehow. Like, some weird crossover thing was happening, but it was actually she was here. I don't know what for.
Okay, so I found out a little bit of intel for you.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I messaged her and she never messaged me back.
Okay, so I found a little bit of intel for you. So we both know people who know people. Hickory's a small town, and
sure.
Everybody knows everybody.
Sure.
So apparently, one of the big construction companies here, I don't know if we're allowed to say their names, so I'll just say one of the big construction companies here, was giving her a tour to possibly be, like, involved with them somehow, I think.
What?
I don't know. Something along those lines. I'll tell you who the construction company is later.
Offline?
Yeah.
What? That seems like a weird mix, right?
Maybe they're building something and they want her. I don't know. But it has to do with that. They were giving her a tour.
Okay. Weird. Well, I had a couple of people, listeners, text me being like, aren't you guys in Hickory? Like, they were messaging me on Facebook and stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I saw it too. Like, I screenshotted it and sent it to you. Like,
I was like, what?
Proof. What is going on? And so I messaged her. She didn't message back.
Catherine, we're on your side.
I know. And seriously, here I am talking about you. But one of our listeners actually messaged her and said, oh my gosh, are you in town for Chick Chat?
That would have been amazing. I would have been here like, hold her there for an hour.
I know. I was like, what?
Right there.
Down the interstate you come. Like, holy smokes, that would have been hilarious. But you know what? Officially now, Catherine has seen the words Chick Chat come across.
We're big time.
Might have to plant that again.
How many followers do you have? How many followers? Because we
might just have to encroach on that. I'm liking her more and more, so that was pretty cool to see her here.
Yeah.
2 seasons ago, I might have been like, I don't care. Get out.
She's awful.
Trash. But
yeah.
Speaking of, that same fan that had told her, are you there for Chick Chat? The reason she was asking her that is she also was writing to tell me that she actually messaged Spencer Pratt and asked him about his crystals. And I think she ordered a crystal from him.
Me.
Yeah.
And by the way, can I tell you, I'm upset with you because you have officially made Spidey famous again.
I did it. I listened to their podcast. I have not ordered a crystal, but I've watched his Instagram stories and it's getting there. And now he's going to be on the hills again.
Right. And I blamed you as soon as I read that story. It's like, Mary Margaret!
Yeah, the hills are coming back. Have you been watching Very Cavallari?
Yes. And she mentioned then she mentioned their podcast. And I was like, I already know this because Mary Margaret told me. I know their kid was there and that you were there.
But did I make them famous or was I just ahead of the game?
No, you did it.
I think I was ahead of the game. I think I was a founding father on making them famous.
Well, whoever did it. Now you're going to make me watch The Hills again.
I think so. I'm kind of thinking that Aldrina might be the nutcase out of the whole group. Justin Bobby's coming back.
Yes, I'm watching for Justin Bobby.
I'm totally watching for Justin Bobby. And when I heard Jason is coming back.
I heard he was coming back, I was like, Justin Bobby, I'm there for you.
Yes. I will watch whatever Justin Bobby's on.
He's a man of little words, but he makes such a
big old impact. Totally watching the Justin Bobby Hills.
But yes, Very Cavallari is one of my faves. I'm just like in awe that Kristen Cavallari is just like a completely different person.
Do you love Jay Cutler as much as I do?
Adore her husband.
I love Jay Cutler. And
like when she says, I love Jay Cutler, I'm like, me too. Your husband's the best.
My husband, I told him, I was like, oh my God, you should totally see Jay Cutler on this. And he was like, I'm never watching Jay Cutler on anything. Like Jay Cutler's horrible. And I'm like, no, but he's so good on this show.
He's so awesome.
He's the best husband ever. Like, he does not care.
No. He's like, you want me to go check on the employees? I'll fire him if you want me to.
I'll fire him.
She's like, whatever, Jay, if you have to fire him, then fire him.
And she's all like, what are you doing today? He's like, buying a tractor. You know, and she's like, what for? He's like, I think I'm going to buy a house. You know? He's hilarious.
The two of them together are hilarious because the last episode when she was like, "Where's the kid?" He's like, "Well, I know one's at school, but I don't know where the other one is." And she's like, "Well, when you find the other one, can you have him call me?" And he's like, "I really don't think the kid should see you like this," because she was hungover. And she was like, "Okay, bye."
He makes the best one-liners when he like comes back to like, "No, Kristen, I seriously think you should do this." Like he's really good.
And he's like, "Did you fire anyone today?" Every time. Like, she gone because I would have totally fired her. And he wears bracelets you can tell his kids made for him.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
And she's always in the kitchen cooking. I'm like, when does Kristen?
She came out with that cookbook and I bought it.
Did you buy it?
I did. True Roots.
I feel like I wouldn't eat anything in there.
I'll show you some of the stuff. I think I haven't made anything out of the book yet.
I have to go to Whole Foods and spend a whole bunch of money to eat whatever she makes.
You just have to actually, it's stuff that I would see in my grocery store, but I was not currently buying before. Does that make sense?
Yes, it's stuff that
it's
is
stuff
in the organic
that's in
aisle.
there.
Yeah.
Well, no, not necessarily. Her whole family is dairy free.
Oh.
Like allergic to cow's milk.
Oh.
Yeah, so they have to have done this other
stuff.
stuff.
Why they bought the goats.
Right. So they actually have different types of cheeses that they use and stuff.
Okay.
So some of that, it's like, that's a little different. It's not necessarily just organic or whatever. It's just she had to adjust on this. So this is all she ever cooks with. But some of it, like, there's some, like, little appetizers in there and different things that are not, and soup and, like, different types of sandwiches that are not fancy.
But again, the fact that it's Kristen Cavallari,
it's funny to me.
Like, blows my mind.
If you, again, you know, I follow a lot of these on Instagram. So I follow her on Instagram. She'll actually walk you through recipes a lot of time on her live videos. Excuse me, her Instagram stories. She'll walk you through, and some of the times I'm just like, oh my gosh, like you're really cooking this. You have no makeup on. You've got a baseball hat on. You're packing lunches for the kids. Like you're doing this.
Like, you're a mom, and you like seem like a good mom.
Yeah,
like,
she gets up every morning at 5 and goes in her basement to work out with her 2 dogs. And she does that because she knows she's going to have to like get the kids ready right after that and stuff. So she can't go anywhere. So it's just
awesome.
funny. Yeah, I'm really enjoying her.
I am enjoying her. I mean, she's completely different from The Hills, but she's kind of admitted that she played a character. I don't think in high school she did, but I think on The Hill she did. I think in Laguna Beach they were just wild, crazy teenagers.
Well, Laguna Beach was just like, we kind of live a charmed life, and so they're following us around.
Let's follow some rich kids.
Yeah, because a lot of that, even then, I mean, if you look back on it now, there wasn't a lot of substance to it. I mean, it wasn't like they were pitting each other against people. It was just high school.
Yeah.
And so you follow people around, they have a barbecue, and it's like kids hanging out at somebody's pool.
Right.
You know, they
really
just
exciting.
lived the life that was different than most of the rest of the country because they go surfing after school and all. But that was not weird to them. That was just their life. And so The Hills, though, became
a show.
A little bit of a
show.
Yeah. Tie-in. Did you know that on The Hills, when Heidi worked for, what was the name of that
house thing? The same place that the girl
Bolt
from
House.
Bolt House that Lauren, or not Lauren,
Landon worked for on Southern Charm.
Yes. And Landon's in The Hills episodes.
Look at that. Landon's in The Hills episodes. Cameron was on Real World.
Yes.
I believe Southern Charm was handpicked. Yeah.
Probably. But I did think at the last episode, I'm like, if that store's open, if Uncommon James is open, I'm there. I'm taking a road trip to Nashville. I need to get there.
Yeah. I mean, I've been on their website and
they
stuff.
didn't let us do like in-store interview.
So, well,
but I feel like I'd be disappointed because no one would be there.
On her Instagram story, she had to make a post basically saying, I'm so sorry that everything is sold out online.
What?
All the store stuff is sold out online because you can shop online, obviously. She was like, yes, I totally knew that there would be more online orders when the show aired. Like, that's a given. I get it. I just didn't estimate how much you guys were going to buy.
Wow.
Yeah. And so she's like, she's apologizing like profusely, but she was like, but these things are all handmade. They're not just mass produced. I'm having to each order's coming in like day by day. So
Did she shut the store down? Like the storefront?
No.
Okay.
No,
so she
it's still
saved some
there.
stuff for the storefront.
Absolutely.
Okay.
That has like a different whole like
Inventory.
yes.
Okay.
But like everything online, I mean, you got to imagine most of the people around the country watching this
Right.
on E or whatever are going to order online.
Yeah.
She's got to hand a small number of that's actually in Nashville.
I just need to know that if I go to the store in Nashville, Kristen, I need the people who are on the TV show to be there.
To actually be
working,
there.
and-
Yes.
Or
I
else
need to see
I'm not buying
Shannon.
anything.
I would love to see.
I can do without seeing Shannon.
I could totally do without Shannon in my life, but I kind of want to see that she actually works.
Worth needs to be there.
Worth could hand walk me around the whole store.
I like, is it Brittany, the store manager?
Brittany's the store manager.
And the blonde, what's her name?
I can't remember her name.
But I like her.
I can't remember.
The one who's kind of quiet, but
Yes.
just kind of,
And a
not
little
quiet,
southern
but-
when
yeah,
she
real
talks.
southern.
Yeah.
I like her.
I do too. I like Brittany the best, I think, because she's a little more like adult of the whole group. And I like their boyfriends.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So I have enjoyed Very Cavallari if you haven't gone out and seen it. Yeah.
I've enjoyed it more
And it
than I
has
thought I
been
would.
renewed for a second season.
Yes.
Bravo.
More Jay Cutler.
More Jay Cutler in my life. I'm good with that.
He's like, I have a date. We're going to go look at some chickens. And she's like, yay.
She's like,
what?
oh, okay.
Jay Cutler, you've got a heart in there. I'm like, really?
And when she like introduces him as like her fourth child, you know, I mean, it's
She's like, it's like my kids, Jay. Well, Jay's kind of with the
and
kids.
he doesn't care. I mean, I think he's kind of like, yeah, whatever. Like,
He asked her, do you miss Jay when you leave? No.
she's like, hell no,
don't miss Jay.
I enjoy a break from
Jay's
Jay
a lot.
I love it. And the way he just kind of sits around and like stares at her because he literally has nothing to do. And she'll
He
call
says
him
it.
out on it. She'll be like, so this month, when he said something like, went and got a haircut, she's like, whoa, that is a big deal for your week. And he's like, I know.
What time are you picking up the kids? It's like, oh, you better get on it.
I love their banter.
When he got on to Shannon for parking in his grass and then had that other girl come out put cones
Put
down.
cones, hilarious. It was.
She's like, I'm getting a text from Jay that someone parked in the grass.
and it's so real though. Like,
That's something my husband would do. Like, friends parked in my grass.
that's right. I love it. Yeah. So Jay Cutler for president. I'm all about it.
He is hilarious. I love them together.
I'm totally
I didn't think
surprised.
I didn't get it at first. I was like, that's kind of an odd couple, but
Agreed.
And it still is. Like he's
Agreed.
but she's kind of changed. So
Yeah, it's definitely not the norm. She's not the old girl, and she says that a lot on the show. Like, this is not who I am or was before. So weird, except for that one episode where she got really, really wasted, and then she was pretty funny about it. But it's been cool because she's actually gone and like gone home. You know, like she left their trip.
yeah,
She went on a trip with her employees. She left the trip early because she was like, guys, y'all don't need like your boss around. You know,
Right.
she's like, we did our work stuff. We're good.
And I
I'm
miss
going to
my
go home
kids.
to my kids now. And that's that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you're a grown up.
for real.
3 kids, a husband,
And she was
like
cooking
a
for them?
business. Yeah.
She's like, I'm just gonna cook your food.
She's like, I
and
did
I'm
my
gonna
job
leave.
and then I'm leaving. I'm like, what? I mean, but I guess this whole cooking thing's kind of like her thing. You know, I
Yeah.
mean,
it's just still so weird to me after seeing her like in her halter tops,
Yes.
driving around to the bowling
talking
alleys,
about
dating
Stephen.
and dating like everybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it Taylor that who asked her the promposal? That was the first I ever heard of a promposal.
promposal was during
it just took off.
Laguna Beach.
It's
Yeah.
like, who does this? I was just my boyfriend was just kind of like, we're going to prom, right?
I know, right? It was
like, then I guess I'm going to prom.
thanks. What color are you wearing?
Right. I guess I'll go buy a dress and let you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can have your shoes dipped
And I did.
to match. Oh, I bet
I
you
did.
did. I didn't have to with the dresses because I had like rhinestones on mine to match up. Yeah. So, but yeah, you can have your shoes dipped.
I kind of feel slighted without my promposal. I don't even think my proposal was
Absolutely.
as intense
No.
as some of these
no,
proposals.
like hanging banners over the interstate and
Right.
stuff. Like,
I'm going to have my husband do a redo. I'm going to go home tonight and be like, I need a redo on my proposal.
can you talk to Jay Cutler?
Right. Call Jay. Find out what he did.
And then call Stephen Cavallari. Stephen and so you know Stephen made an appearance towards the end of One Tree Hill. Did you ever
Yes,
watch One Tree
I
Hill?
did, yeah.
I love One Tree Hill. Okay, so One Tree Hill had Steven as the bartender
Yeah.
towards the end of the show, and he's kind of the goofy bartender, like Ted Danson style or whatever. But I guess he became friends with the guy that played Nathan on that show.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. And those two now have produced a movie together. And I follow them on Instagram.
I'm gonna have to get on this Instagram thing.
Are you not on Instagram?
I am not
period?
on Instagram. No.
Are you kidding me?
I mean, I have an
It's
Instagram.
my favorite.
I have Instagram only because my daughter wanted Instagram to see like pictures. Because my
Yeah.
sister kept saying I posted pictures on Instagram. And I'm
Right.
like, I don't have it.
Yeah.
So I got it for that purpose, but I can't log in because I don't know my login. And I'm just like, oh, I don't care that much. But I'm gonna I have Twitter too that I never post on.
Yeah, Twitter's a little more like businessy about it. I think Instagram is
All right,
bee's
I'll
knees.
find out my login and I'll check it out.
it's really. I'm wondering if Chick Chat should have an Instagram because I'm more likely to post on it than I am like on Facebook sometimes.
I can see that.
Should
Do
I do
it.
that? Maybe
Do
I
it.
should. I'm only going to do it if you're going to come on there.
I will do it. I just have to find out my login
It's so
and
much
password.
better than something like Facebook or, heaven forbid, people using Snapchat. Please don't use Snapchat.
I
It's
don't
so
even,
shady.
No Snapchat.
Don't use it. Okay, maybe that's going to be our project. Maybe
Okay.
I'll make my back to school project is start a Chick Chat Instagram.
Great, and I'll find out my login and password,
And you
start
come on
following
and
people.
start hearting it.
Yes.
Okay, well, I can do that, and then I can reference all the pictures that we look up, like of the Baldwin brothers.
Who's your favorite Baldwin? Let's go back to 1980.
testing. Who is this Baldwin?
All our kids are like, who? Is that the guy on like that TV show
Is this
that
the
does
one
the
that plays
match
the
game?
president?
Is he on SNL? Is that why he's famous?
That's what it is. Okay, well, I totally had topics for this show, and we didn't get to any
I
of
know.
them.
I was all prepared for it too. I did my homework.
Son of a
We'll
gun. We're
save
going to have
it.
to save it. All right, so it's August now. It's late August, but we're getting it in there.
Yeah.
So can we maybe do like mid-September-ish? So that we don't go like a month and a half, maybe?
Yeah, we can do that. We'll figure something out.
We'll figure something out. But
Yeah.
let's plan our topic that we had saved.
Yes.
For September.
I'll keep my homework in my pocket.
But I mean, summer just, it got away from us and we had so much to
the
talk
Deeps got
about.
engaged and we forgot
God.
about it. I mean, it wasn't even
To a
on our
Baldwin
topic
kid.
list. To a Baldwin. It evolved into a Baldwin.
This is how we had
Brothers
to
show.
figure it out. Oh, okay. So stay tuned for next month when our topics are going to be on point. You just wait and see.
You just need nothing big to happen between now and
I
then.
know, right? Because then we might have to
And then
talk
we'll get
about
completely
it.
thrown.
God, Megan, don't get pregnant. Don't get pregnant. Don't get pregnant. We don't need her to
adopted a
overshare
puppy.
like
Is that
yours.
good?
What?
Yeah, they adopted a puppy. I have a
Megan
prediction.
and Harry?
Yes, I have a prediction about Megan and Harry.
No. She took Gus
She did.
to England.
She did, but she had to leave one
and
behind.
she left one behind,
and adopted a new one.
but you replaced it?
You can't replace.
Megan.
They just added to their
Megan.
family.
No, she did not. She got rid of one.
She could not bring that puppy.
Why?
I forget why, but there was a reason.
There's no reason.
There's a reason.
There was no reason. She played favorites. Megan.
And now she's just added
Megan.
to the. I have a prediction about them, though. I do think they will have their own kid, but my prediction: adopting a baby from Africa. You heard it here first.
Well, you also heard it here first that Harry loves Megan more than Megan loves Harry. And
Not
you just
true.
watch. You just watch.
Not true.
Homegirl is speeding, sliding through. She's sliding into the Queen's DMs, if you will. She is just getting right up in
wiggling.
there. She's trying to make some waves in there. You just watch. It's about to.
We got to see what happens on the
About to
crown.
happen.
See what how the crown depicts it.
True.
That will tell everything.
That will pre-tell all. Yes.
Because that's true life.
Oh my gosh, this has been amazing. That was like speed round everything spun into one thing after the other. I apologize for that if you lost track of what we were
These are
talking
the best
about.
shows when we're just off topic and off track.
We really had topics today to talk about, and I got 0 of them, except for
These were
the
more exciting.
engagements. Yeah, probably. So, all right, this has been Chick Chat. It is end of August right now. hopefully we will see you at the Foot Candle Film Festival. Come join us on September 28th through 30th. We'll be there, and the Foot Candle guys will be there, so you'll have lots of mesh stuff around as well. Hopefully you can go to footcandlefilmfestival.com and check out all the information. Otherwise, you are on the mesh right now and listening to Chick Chat. Thanks for joining us. If you have any questions, you could write them in. You could find us on Facebook and soon to find us on Instagram, because I'm going to start a page.
Yay.
Just one more Instagram for me to follow, which is fine by me. Yeah.
Chick Chat will be my first. Yay.
Chick Chat's your first follow. Welcome to Instagram.
Yay.
That means I'm going to stay on top of it. I'm going to need you guys to follow me and make some good comments and stuff. Instagram's the best.
I'll find out.
Okay, I'll be the judge of that. All right, so again, congratulations, Jeanette, on your bundle of joy that will be joining us soon.
Gender update next time.
That's right.
Yeah.
You find out in a few days.
Yep.
So we will keep you all posted. You might just have to tune in to the next episode to find out. Excellent. All right, guys, until next time, we will catch you on the flip side.
You've been listening to The Mesh, an online media network of shows and programs ranging from business to arts, sports to entertainment, music to community. All programs are available on the website as well as through iTunes and YouTube. Check us out online at themesh.tv. Discover other network shows and give us feedback on what you just heard.